Hey everybody, welcome back to Prince's Friend, exploring music through Prince. I thought today I might do this live stream in our dining room here. And the reason for that is because, hey, the videos that I'm putting up this week are all at my desk. So I'm thinking a different change of pace might be good. So different background so that, it's not just the same thing over and over again. I apologize. I was just eating some wings. So I'm kind of in the process of my stomach accepting those. But yeah, so this is our normal monthly live stream. I normally do these at about 7:30, but if you've been around for a while, you know that every so often I have the opportunity for my son to be gone. And if my son is gone, my youngest son, my oldest son is fine. I'll just be like, hey, go to your room. But as soon as I have the opportunity to do something, then I will. And of course, I'm doing it earlier because I have the opportunity to do so. Normally it's at about 7:30. Today it's at 6, and I know that a lot of my friends from overseas don't always get to come to these live streams. And so, yeah, so that's why I'm doing it. So yeah, so I know everybody is right now just getting kind of your notifications and stuff. Decided to start it a little bit earlier than I normally do, but we do a live stream the last Thursday of every month. We do it every month. So, and you can go back. I have a playlist of just the live streams that I do. So you can always go back and check out all the old live streams that we've done. So with that in mind, the first thing that I always like to do whenever I do these is I really like to talk about the videos that we got out this month and talk a little bit about maybe some of the feedback, some of the response, some of the information that I got, stuff like that. So this month we got so far, because the month is actually, it's weird, right? Because normally I would do this, I think next week, but next week is the first. So we sometimes will run into these weird months where it doesn't necessarily line up. So technically, if I was to do this live stream next Thursday, then we would have like 4 more videos up for the month of July. But we still have a few more videos that are going to be going up in July. But so far from the last live stream to this live stream, we got up another 13 videos. So that's actually not too bad. We do, usually 3 videos a week. So in 4 weeks we did, 3 a week with an extra one. So that's nice. So, and that extra one, I'll go over what that extra one was in a minute. It was kind of an older piece of content that I decided to put together and give to the general channel. It was something that was previously available only to patrons, and I'm already talking about it, so I might as well just go ahead and talk about it now. It was the Prince Words of Wisdom playlist video. It's an interview that I did with the Purple Current. It was actually the second interview that I did, second out of 2. I guess I've done 2. So it was me and Sean McPherson, really, really awesome interview. And it was done back at the end of January because that was when I launched the Prince Was a Modern Day Sage video. So, and it was the radio play, the interview that we had that went along with the launch of the video, and some blogs were talking about it as well. It was like kind of a big deal, and I was trying to do, a little bit larger of a media push for that specific video. I still feel like Prince Was a Modern Day Sage is just such a monumental effort still. But it was a recording that I had previously only had for patrons. I mean, or if you were listening to the radio at the time, but I only had it available for patrons. So I decided to go ahead and I spliced it together because it was only audio. I wasn't in Minneapolis like the other one that I shared the video for. But this time I was like, yeah, I put like a little picture and I added some words and I just gave it to you guys. So I think it came out pretty nice. And that was kind of an extra little bonus video that hopefully you guys enjoyed. But we did do some reviews this month. We did Rebirth of the Flesh. We got that review out. Really, really great. I love that song. And we did the Nothing Compares to You cinematic mix. We did that one as well. So we got those two. They were only single reviews. So, you know, that's neither here nor there. Oh no, we did the Somebody review as well. So three single reviews. I'm still currently working on the reviews for Crystal Ball, and that's why I'm mostly working on that as probably the next big album reviews. But I wanted to give you guys some reviews, which is why I did some smaller reviews just to kind of get those out of the way. And those actually are, you know, time appropriate. I mean, the Rebirth of the Flesh was one I probably should have done it a while ago because it was a Camille lost track. So should have done it when we were in that era. But the Somebody and the Nothing Compares to You cinematic mix, both of those are pretty much in either the era that I am currently in reviews anyway, because the last big review for Prince was Emancipation, so it makes sense to do the single. And I almost did a review for the Face Down single, but what I decided to do instead was that's when I came up with the Face Down is the perfect Prince song, and here's 5 reasons why. So instead of doing a review of the one additional version of that song that's on the single, I turned that into like a whole other video. So it worked out pretty nicely. I was happy with it. So let's see. So we got those few reviews out. We did have the news. Okay, so we had the news about the Emancipation, Chaos and Disorder, and Versace Experience reissues, which I'm still a little. I think that the Emancipation is going to be cool, and they still haven't done an official announcement for anything. So right now it is still just available in foreign markets, and there aren't any, you know, U.S. links and stuff. But they got to get on that, especially if it's going to be September. Like, we're at the end of July now. There's not much time until September. At the same time, you know, they haven't announced the newest iPhone yet, and that's supposed to usually come out in September. So I guess everybody likes to do stuff a lot closer to the time that it's going to be coming out. So there you go. I did add some more lists to the channel. I've been doing a lot more lists lately, and I've been enjoying those. I've noticed that you guys enjoy lists, so I'm trying to do more lists, but I'm also trying to sprinkle in some non-list things in there. My channel didn't used to be just tons of lists, but I also noticed that you guys really, really like the lists. I think a lot of people enjoy lists. I think that's a YouTube thing. So I did my top 5 songs that I like off of the originals, and my top 5 off of Dirty Mind. So we did those. I have the video that I've already recorded for my controversy picks, but I'm waiting to, obviously I have to edit it and put it up. I don't know, maybe next week. We'll have to see my editing schedule here, how quickly I can get those videos out. I also did the top 10 funky songs. So bam, that was fun. And then actually the response that I got from the top 5 funky songs, or sorry, the top 10 funky songs was that everybody was like, hey, you know, this song should have been on there and that song should have been on there. So then I decided to do a live stream where I talked about how I make my lists, so that maybe it would give a little bit more information as to why maybe some of the songs that you didn't know were on there, and why some others that you might have wanted on there were actually on a separate list that I had done the week earlier. So I did that. Let's see, what other videos did I do? Oh, okay. So the other 2 pretty big ones is, well, I mean, despite if we're not going to talk about real deeply the Black Album and Lovesexy discussion videos that came out earlier this week, I've loved having Chris on the channel, so he came on and we had a nice, fun conversation. So those went up earlier. Tomorrow's video is actually going to be the Black Album versus Lovesexy. And then I have an extra excerpt that I'm going to be giving to the channel. That'll go up over the weekend. I still have to edit a little bit of that, but that's going to be going up too. So this is, it's technically 4 parts, but it's really 3 major parts, and then like a 4th, like it was a little conversation that we had that felt like it needed its own space to kind of breathe. Even though it was related to what we were talking about, if I felt like it needed to kind of have its own space. So there's that. And Chris is really cool. I enjoy having him on the channel. But the 2 other big videos that I did this month were albums still matter. This is the first one. Albums still matter. It's kind of part of my Purple Lessons, No Prince series that I've been working on for a little bit here. You know, I try to come up with, you know, one video a month or so that are like deeper discussions about things that Prince has said, things that he believed, you know, why these things matter, why are we even here talking about these things, you know, because he was so influential, and here is one of the reasons why. And you know, the album still matter thing was very interesting. So again, talking about response, here is one thing that I did get. It was a weird response that I got from posting this video. Is I posted I posted it on Twitter, and I had somebody, you know, I was like, hey, albums still matter, like Books and Black Lives. This is the thing that Prince said. This is the thing that I believe, not just because Prince said it, but here's a thing, you know, bam. And I put the video up, and somebody who actually is a friend of the channel, who is a viewer, a subscriber, says, you know, all lives matter, just in all caps. And that's their response. And I'm like, well, you can go away, because obviously you don't understand the conversation that's being had. And then we kind of went back and forth, and she, you know, she was just like, I support the channel. I was a patron, and now I'm going to take my, you know, whatever anywhere. I'm going to withdraw all my support, and I can't believe that you would talk to anybody like this, and, you know, you're a racist. And I'm like, okay, I get whatever. The thing about racism is that you know, please stop killing us is not racist. And that is something that is weird, that you know, that people even think about. But I'm like, if you just do a quick Google search, like just Google your response. Why is all lives matter a bad thing to respond to that with? And they're like, I'm not going to research that because you care about it. I don't care about it. And I'm like, well, then why are you even bothering me? Like, go away. I'm going to withdraw my support. Cool. You probably should, because you shouldn't support something that you're not behind. Just as if this person had a channel, I would definitely not support you. So there you go. I think that was the most interesting conversation that I had about that particular video. Otherwise, honestly, everybody kind of got what I was trying to put out there, really kind of trying to discuss how important these political and these social issues are. And I kind of want to take back political, because it's not even really a political thing. It's been politicized, but it's not really a political thing. It's a social thing. It's the need for civil rights, I guess increased civil rights, but that's neither here nor there. I'll stop about that. But the album still matter video, that was a really intense one for me to make. And, you know, kind of bringing it lighter, that was actually the first video that I decided to split myself. So I had two versions of myself, and then I slapped one version of me, slapped the other version of me. So that was fun. You know, just trying to play around a little bit with the green screen. The other big video that I did, which I think it's a big one. It was a big one for me, even if it didn't get like the most views or whatever. But it was my Purple Rain review as Rabid 80s Prince fan, which was kind of interesting. You know, I made that video thinking that it was just going to be a fun way for me to just like, hey, I'm just gonna do something silly. I tried to make the video longer, because usually they say like it shouldn't be less than 5 minutes, and I'm like, I only got to like 4 minutes, but you know what? It was 4 minutes of just so much fun. And I got to like splice myself and the other person. And, you know, it's just really, really fun to do that sort of video. And I really thought I was going to get in trouble with you guys. I thought you guys were going to be like, no, I can't believe that, blah, 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 blah. You know, I can't believe that you would do stuff like that and make fun of the, and it's like, everybody seemed to get it. I was pretty happy about that, because I really thought I was going to get in trouble. I thought it was going to be like, you guys were going to hate it. But you guys loved it, and I was pretty happy about that. And apparently you guys want more Rabid 80s Prince friend, Rabid 80s Prince fan reviews. And I'm like, oh, I have to figure out how I would do that. Like for Purple Rain, it makes so much sense. But him doing reviews for other albums, unless they're 80s albums, it's going to be interesting to see how that works. But I did enjoy doing that video. I think it was my very first video that I did purely for comedic effect. And the fact that it was received so well, I mean, because I've always spliced in a little bit of humor here and there in my videos, but the fact that you guys loved it so much, I thought that that was really cool. So I enjoyed that. Thank you guys so much for that response to the video, because I really was not sure what the response was going to be. So yeah, so honestly, the fact that, I mean, we did a lot of videos this month. I mean, that's already 13. We have a few more coming out to finish off the month of July, but man, so many videos just in the last 4 weeks that we've been able to get out. 13 is pretty good. I'm excited about these numbers. You guys are really, really great, and I love coming here and interacting with you guys, and I love creating new content for y'all. So I actually have some other videos that are coming next week that are going to be less. I'm trying to do a few less top 10 lists, top 5 lists, but I do have some of those recorded as well. So. And actually, I've been doing really well sticking with 3 videos a week because the 3 videos a week is actually very doable with my schedule. Obviously, I have that, and I'm also working on 2 other channels that I have as well. So I do 3 videos for this channel. I actually do 3 videos for another channel, and then I do 2 for another channel. So it actually works out pretty nicely with the way that I schedule because I'm releasing about 8 videos a week spread out. But I end up, I think I record 8 or 9 videos a week. So I always have some sort of backlog, which is good. So like I have all of my next week's videos for Prince's Friend recorded already, which is good. But what ended up happening this week is yesterday was actually my birthday, my 40th birthday. So the day before that, the day of, and most of today, I have been kind of everywhere. So I haven't gotten a lot of recording done this week. That's why I've been doing some live streams recently to kind of make up for that. But also last week I was feeling ill. So it was just a whole big bunch of things that was all conspiring to make me not be able to record as much. So I do have a backlog, but I need to actually get on that and start recording some more and really get some stuff out for you guys. So with all of that in mind, I'm pretty excited about the stuff that I have coming out next week. And there were a couple of questions that I saw kind of scroll by that I do want to hit. If you haven't seen it already, they did just release today the Hollyrock video that they're doing to try and promote the originals, Prince originals, and it was a pretty good video. I really enjoyed it, and I might do like an official maybe video review of it or video reaction or something to that effect. Because I really think they did a really, really good job with the video. It's animated. It's got Prince in a bunch of different eras. It's got some, it's almost like a lyric video because it's got the lyrics that come by and all that stuff. So I dig it. I'm pretty excited about seeing what comes of maybe future videos. I dig that a lot. And since I already reviewed the actual album itself, I'm thinking about maybe I'll do a Manic Monday Hollyrock video where I cover the 2 videos that are out so far. And Hollyrock actually ended up on my top 5 off of the originals. So you can already see that, I'm biased. I liked it a lot. So I did dig it. So that was one question that had come through. So there's that. Let's see. I'm gonna start going back through. I'm gonna start going back through the chat. There's actually quite a few here. If you have a question that you definitely want me to see, don't forget you can hit the super chat button. It's the little $sign there, and that will make it highlight up there so that I definitely see it. So otherwise, I'm gonna go through and hit some questions where I can. It does jump around sometimes, and so I may miss your question. Just saying, it happens. So let's see. Oh, yeah. How did you like the Hollyrock? Yes, I did like it. So let's see. You started streaming while I was watching another stream, dropping in to say hi. Well, hello. I definitely appreciate anybody who comes to these things because it's kind of me rambling for a while. But I do love interacting with y'all and asking questions of you, answering questions. It's just a lot of fun for me anyway to do these sorts of things. You know what? Something that somebody else asked me was, am I going to have T-shirts available soon? And I did have T-shirts available before. And when my name started getting bigger, when Prince's Friend was a thing that started getting more recognition, I kind of took the store down because I am not interested in having the estate come after me for anything. They haven't contacted me at this point. I'm just here trying to do a good job and trying to keep Prince's legacy going. And I'm not looking to, piss them off by wanting to sell a few shirts or whatever. However, I think what I'm going to do is maybe not have a thing where I keep shirts up forever. I might just do a thing where I'm like, hey, we're going to print this design. And if you're in for this design, you can PayPal me money or whatever. Kind of like how, who did that? So basically, and it'll be like as long as we get a certain number of people who are in, because you have to print a certain amount, otherwise they're super expensive. So I'll see what is all entailed with that, but I think probably I'm going to talk about that on social media and likely not do like a whole video about it. So if you're not following me on social media, you're going to want to if you're interested in getting a T-shirt of some sort. So I am on Facebook, which is probably the place that I'll post the main post about that. So just go to my page. It's Prince's Friend. There you go. Or you can hit at Prince's Friend YT on Instagram and Twitter. Those will be like tangential places to announce such a thing. But I think probably the first thing I'll do is on Twitter. And you know what? I'll do it right now because I'm thinking about it. Is on Twitter, I'm probably going to put a post that's going to say, hey, if we did a shirt design, which shirt design is it that you're interested in? And I'll probably give a few different options. We'd have obviously the Prince's Friend. There's going to be Student of Prince likely. And somebody after yesterday's video, a lot of you are saying that I should do a do the thing video. Just do the thing, people. You guys seem to enjoy that kind of saying, and I might make that like a regular thing. We'll have to see. It was really spur of the moment, but it seems to have resonated. So a do the thing video, T-shirt might work out pretty nicely as well. All right, I spent a lot of time. Wow, that wasn't even a question. I just started talking. This is what happens. Do you like Prince when he raps? From Blanca. Yes, actually, I'm one of the few people who do. Thank you, Smooth Criminal. You like all the videos that were released this month. I appreciate that. I've been trying. Keeping up with a YouTube channel is its own thing. There's a lot involved with it, and now I have 3. So, did you see the new Hollyrock video? Okay. Really excited for the next part of the Black album, Lovesexy videos. Yes, that's tomorrow, and I think it's the longest of the 3 videos, and it's where we, compare the 2. I edited it yesterday, and it's a fun video. I think you guys are gonna have a lot of fun with that one. Let's see. Isaiah, I'm so happy to have met you and love your channel. I like the song review posts. Those are never ending. We got thousands of songs. Yeah, we got grooves and grooves up on the shelf, guys. Grooves and grooves. Let's see. Happy birthday. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you for the happy birthdays. I appreciate that. Prince was a modern day sage is truly a masterpiece. Thank you again. I appreciate that as well. Let's see. Crystal Ball. Yes, Crystal Ball is coming. Let's see. I'm excited for the Chaos and Disorder. It's my new favorite Prince album. That's cool. I don't think I've ever heard anybody call that their favorite Prince album. I can't even say that it's my favorite, but I think it's cool that, that album has found somebody who says, this one's my favorite. I dig it. I dig it a lot. Let's see. See, you guys are just saying lyrics in the live stream now. Yes, Chris is great. Chris is wonderful. Black Album. Somebody offered me $300 for the vinyl record I have. Hell no. Okay, okay. I mean, if you're a collector, then that makes perfect sense. Like for me, I'd be like, do I need something that costs $300? Because as long as I have the music, I'm good. And I have all of my music like digitized and backed up like multiple times, all kinds of stuff. Let's see. When I first found your channel, I actually thought you were Prince's friend in real life. Well, here's the thing about the name Prince's Friend. When I made, and I'll just kind of go into a little bit, when I made the channel for Prince's Friend, there were other channels that were Prince fan, this, Prince fan, that, all of Prince's fans, blah, 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 blah. It was all Prince fan, usernames, logins, and, channel names. And I was like, well, I've never used fan. I always use friend. I'm always a Prince friend. So I was like, well, if I'm going to make a channel, I would make it Prince Friend or Prince's Friend or something like that. So I just called it Prince's Friend because I was like, I've always used the term friend. Everybody else uses the term fan, and there are a ton of channels that are Prince Fan 1986 or, Prince Fan 2011 or whatever. And I was like, well, I'll do Prince's Friend. And it didn't matter. It didn't matter at all until my channel was big. And as soon as my channel got big, then all of a sudden people saying, you didn't even know Prince, so why could you call yourself a friend? And I'm like, okay, guys, literally, if anybody actually knew Prince, they're not going to call their channel Prince's Friend. They're not going to call, again, and also if they knew Prince, they're not going to call their channel Prince's Fan or anything like that. Prince's sister doesn't have a Prince's sister channel. So she has one that's Tyka Nelson. She just uses her name. That's the thing is it's kind of odd that people get mad that I use, the name Prince's Friend because they think like I'm trying to like claim that I knew him or that I knew more about him or that I was his actual friend. But it's like, no, guys, it's just a term, just like fan, just like fam. If I called my channel Prince's Fam, then people would be mad. You're not related to him. It's like, but neither are any of the other people who call themselves fam. You're not Prince's friend. Neither are any of the other people who call themselves friends. These are the terms that Prince used. So why not use them? And, again, I never claimed that I knew Prince. If you watch my very first video, I talk about why I call myself Prince's friend. And I did a new one at the beginning of this year that kind of clarified, or actually not the beginning of this year, but I did another one. I think it was the beginning of May that I addressed that again because it seems like it's a reoccurring thing. I know you're probably, Ryan, you're probably like, I didn't mean to set him off, but it's honestly, it's one of those things that it's so weird that people seem so hung up on the name that I use. When it's just like anything else. Like, what if it was, the Peach and Black podcast is just like, I know it's a lyric in a song, but Prince, it should be the Purple podcast. Like, okay, but that's what they chose to call themselves. Like, it's a thing from Prince, and that's the one that they chose. So, you got a lot of people get hung up on names. It's just really, really weird. Anyway, I should probably stop because I could vent on that forever. Let me see. I can't remember. Did you do a top fave list for unreleased songs that you feel need to be officially released? I haven't actually. I have a lot of songs. The question here is like, what constitutes an official release? Because there are a lot of songs that I can't wait to come out again for the masses that were, for instance, released through MPG Music Club. And, that would be really cool. Like I have a collection, and actually Mr. Ant sent it to me. So, I'm always thankful to Mr. Ant for having sent me, but he sent me like 40 tracks that I had never heard. This was like maybe a year and a half or 2 years ago. But he sent me like a whole slew of songs that I had never heard before. And they were all songs that were released from the MPG Music Club in all of its different iterations, but never got onto an actual CD like the Slaughterhouse or Chocolate Invasion, where, those are collections of songs that were released from the MPG Music Club. So like, would those count as unreleased? That's the question. Because honestly, the estate could take those songs right there and make an album and release it tomorrow. They literally could, because there's such a good quality of those songs, and they wouldn't even have to like remaster or do a ton with them. And because they were only MPG Music Club releases, there's like almost nobody has heard them unless you were a member of the MPG Music Club at that time. And like even me, I hadn't heard those songs. And I actually was an MPG Music Club member for a while, and then it got shut down. But these were songs that were released before I was a member, and ones that were released in a few of the different iterations that he came out with, like loveforOneAnother.com and stuff that I, even I, as, the huge Prince friend that I am, it was hard to follow him around to all the different ideas and places and websites and stuff that he had. So it happens. So like, yeah, what am I doing here? All right. Like Books and Black Lives, albums still matter. Exactly. Sounds like she was begging to be blocked. She was. And the interesting thing is I've been waiting for my number of patrons to go down. She hasn't pulled her support, and she blocked me. She blocked me. That was the thing. She sent me like a nasty note and then blocked me, and I'm like, all right, whatever. Let's see. Yeah, it's weird to call you a racist, yet you follow a man's music that's about love for one another. Exactly. I'm all about that. And that's honestly what Black Lives Matter is about as well. There you go. All right. Let's see. Prince's Friend, bringing the Prince Friend community together. Love it. Thank you, In a Basket. That's an interesting name. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know what the great thing is I was actually just contacted by a performer who I've had on my channel. If you go back and you look at, what was it, last year, go back and look at my video that I did for the Halloween party that I went to. And I actually talked a bunch about Sir Jack, who is a performer, and he does Prince songs and stuff like that. And he was at that party, and that's actually, we met at that party. And I recently was just contacted by him again, and we're going to get together and we're going to see what we might be able to do about trying to promote more Prince things and events and stuff here in Florida. And that's actually amazingly cool, because I keep trying to go to parties, and none of the parties are really all that great for me, as like I guess the type of listener that I am. I don't really like to dress up all that much. I did dress up at that party, but it was Halloween, so I was okay with it. But like, if it's like in the middle of May, why am I dressing up to go like dressing up as a Prince character to go to a Prince party? It's like, you should come as you are. That was a big thing that Prince said. And then you're just going to appreciate the music. And then obviously every time I go to one of these Prince events, the music is mostly early 80s music, which is great if you're just there for 80s nostalgia and for dressing up and stuff. But for me, I go there to appreciate the music. But honestly, that Halloween party that I went to with Sir Jack, and he was there with his band, and they performed a bunch of songs. Like they even performed Stare, which was really cool because like I love Stare. Obviously, I did a whole video about it. But like that one and the Moody Man performance at Paisley, I think are the two biggest things that have, hit me and made me like really see what some performers can do to keep Prince's legacy alive. Because we don't want like, going to a DJ and they're just going to play some Prince music. That's great, but I could do that at home. Like we want something that's going to bring people together, people who are, things that are going to elevate Prince's music to the level that I believe, it should be. So that's my thought, and hopefully I'm going to be able to get with Sir Jack soon and really like dig in and figure out what we can do with that. Like, I'm excited to see what I could do because he's a musician and has a band and all that stuff. So he knows like venues and all kinds of stuff. But like me, I just have a channel. I just like talking about Prince. So I wonder what I can do in that exchange. But I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens whenever I get to talk to him. He's really cool guy, by the way. I love him a lot. He's really nice. Let me see. Francis Marie. Damn, Aloy, you made me stay. I'm watching TYT later. Yeah, I watch TYT. Usually what I do is I know that they go on at 6. And what I normally do is usually right like maybe 9-ish, maybe 10-ish, they start uploading a bunch of their like individual videos from the stuff that they talked about from the live show. So I usually like to watch those. The live show is good though. I used to be a TYT member, but what I noticed is that I wasn't using all of the perks as much as I would like. So I was like, I guess I'll save, the $10 a month and spend it on something else. So there you go. Let's see. Wow, I am just a rambly guy today. Sorry about that, everybody. Perhaps change his name to Rapid Prince fan versus Prince friend. Yeah, well, Rabid Prince fan. I guess Rabid 80s Prince fan was what I actually bought another wig that I'm gonna it's so weird, but I actually bought another wig that I'm looking to create a different character out of that, maybe one from the 90s or something like that. Trying to figure out, it might be like a grungy kind of character who was more into like the aggressiveness and the rock from the 90s. So it might be a rabid 90s Prince fan. We'll have to see what that character comes about. I have to get the right look because the 80s was easy. You get a pirate shirt and like an 80s hairstyle wig, and then like you're done. A bunch of people were like, you should put eyeliner on. And the interesting thing is I wear glasses for a reason, and it's that my eyes are super hypersensitive to anything that gets close to them. So it is extremely difficult for me to wear contacts or put anything next to my eye. My wife tried to put eyeliner on me when I went to that Halloween party, and it was like, and it was like, ooh, it was the worst ever. And she just couldn't do it because my eyes kept going crazy and I kept flinching. And anyway, anything on the Kat Glover interview? Well, the Kat Glover interview is an interesting thing. She's actually going through some stuff personally that I'm not at liberty to divulge, but this has led to a delay in getting that interview. I have talked with her on a couple of different occasions, so like we're still good. We're still on talking terms. Also, if you have been looking in the comments of some of my videos, she is there. It's Catherine Glover. I can affirm you that that actually is Kat Glover. So if you see her in the comments, feel free to engage with her. She's super, super nice. And, and the whole thing about it is like, it says Catherine Glover and people are like, are you the real one? It's just like, she's like, what do you want? And was he my ID or something? It's like, there are people though, who will name themselves things in the comments. So I get it, but I can tell you it's her. So if you see that, go ahead and check that out. But that interview hopefully will happen. I'm going to try and push for it in August. I'm going to try and get it out for August, and let's see if we can do it. Thank you, Prince Gal 21. Still laughing out loud for the Rabid 80s Prince fan. I always love bringing him into play. I think now I've used him 3 or 4 times. I try to use him sparingly because he's a bit much. He's a bit much. I have to get into like uber like mode in order to play him. I should probably have like an easier character where like I can just like be regular, but like that one's so extreme. That's why it's Rabid. Anyway. Let me see. I'm still waiting for you to talk bootlegs, buddy. Oh, I assume you guys. Okay, so here's the thing that happened is that there was a person. Oh, I see what you're saying. But anyway, I'm going to talk about this anyway because this was news, right? And I might actually do a video about it, but I'm going to talk about it briefly here. Is that there was a company who was doing bootlegs, and the estate sued them, and yeah, they have to pay back a lot of money for selling bootlegs because obviously they don't have the rights to those recordings. And the judge ruled, I think it was 7 million. I could be wrong. I think it was 7 million, which is interesting because it was 7 million. Jeez. Because it was 7 million for like a bunch of albums over years, but like the Deliverance was like 4 million just for the one album. So it was like it's interesting, like the judges' decisions and stuff. But I mean, the estate's doing what I think they're supposed to do. You don't want somebody out there releasing a whole bunch of bootlegs that's going to dilute what the official releases will end up doing, and that makes sense. At the same time, like, I believe that company had been around for a while doing that anyway. So, but I'm going to do a whole thing about that. I'll do that video this week. There you go. See, there you go. I'll do a video about that this week because I'm going to dig in and really get all the facts and stuff. Right now, I'm going off of like I skimmed the article. So, and Lisa wasn't wearing a bra. Exactly. And Lisa wasn't wearing a bra. Jason Mehmet, what other channels do I have? So I have 2 other major channels. I technically have a 4th, but I have 2 other major channels. One is called The Turnout, and just go to YouTube, type in The Turnout, or it's youtube.com/The Turnout. And The Turnout is where I do non-Prince like reviews. I do movies and TV, and I talk about geeky things that aren't Prince related. Because like I have this channel for everything Prince related, and then I have The Turnout, and that's where I go talk about all the movies I watch, because I watch a ton of movies. I'm like probably going to go see The Lion King tonight, and I talk about TV because I watch a lot of TV. So I'm generally geeky in that way. So I wanted to have a secondary channel where I could talk about that stuff, because this channel covers my love of Prince, and I wanted to talk about Prince already. So that's The Turnout. The Turnout. My 3rd channel I have is called MPQ Mastery, and I love the mobile game. It's called Marvel Puzzle Quest, and I love that game. I play it every day. For a while, probably longer than my wife likes. But I decided to just start making videos about like what I love about the channel and some strategies that I use and new characters that are coming out and blah, blah, blah. And people seem to dig that. So that channel actually recently just hit 1,000 subs, which was really, really cool. Because, I only ever had this channel really before. So it's cool to see another endeavor that I have kind of hitting it. Not big, I guess. 1,000 subscribers isn't huge, but it's nice. It's nice. It's at 1,100 now, actually. So it's growing too. That's the greatest thing. So anyway, The Turnout and MPQ Mastery, those are my 2 other channels. They're not Prince related. So if you're only into me and talking about Prince, you kind of want to stay here. But if you're interested in my views, like today on The Turnout, I posted a video that was about The Last Dragon, because I'm silly and I like The Last Dragon a lot. So anyway. Thank you for asking. Like nobody's, not everybody's interested in like what other things that I do, but it's cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All of my happy birthdays. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Welcome to the 40s. You are now rave unto the joy, fantastic years old. I love it. Thank you, Chris. Let's see. Yes, the animation is really cool. Robin Harper, love this channel. Thank you. And it looks like it's skipped. So I'm going to scroll up a bit, but let's see here. I don't know what we're going to do here. Princess Friend, you need to show up there one time as 80s Prince. If I went to a thing as Rabid 80s Prince fan, that would be, I probably would win like a costume contest with that thing. But at the same time, it's so cheesy. It is just so cheesy. It's so like it hurts me when I put it on, because it's just like, oh my God, this is so cheesy. I can't believe I'm doing this. But then it's also fun. So I dig it all the time. I think one of the most overlooked songs that Prince did, The Ladder off of Around the World in a Day, that's Dewey. I could agree with that, Dewey. I mean, that's the thing about The Ladder, though. Here's the thing about Around the World in a Day. There were obviously a few standout tracks on that everybody talks about. And I actually feel like The Latter is one of them. You know, there's Pop Life and Raspberry Beret because those were singles. Everybody Loves America. Everybody Loves Temptation. Everybody Loves Tambourine. And Everybody Loves The Latter. And then when you get into some of the other tracks, you're like, oh, why were these songs like, why aren't these ones talked about more? I would honestly say Condition of the Heart or the song Around the World in a Day are actually um, more overlooked than I think The Latter is. That's just my own personal opinion based on my interaction with other friends. But yeah, so I think it's interesting. Jess Ellington, are you ever going to do a Musicology album review? So just to give everybody, bring everybody up to speed, I do have to remind people a few times here and there, but I do my reviews in order because I feel like Prince's albums are a journey. So that's how I listened to Prince, and that's how I want to do my reviews. So the next big review that I'm doing, the next Prince review, is going to be for Crystal Ball. So there you go, because I've done all of the albums up to Crystal Ball at this point. So we have Crystal Ball, and then we're gonna have The Truth and Kama Sutra, and obviously singles throughout all of that. But we're gonna have The New Power Soul. We're gonna have Rave Into and Unto. There's another one in there that I can't think of what it is off the top of my head, but I have a bunch of albums because Musicology was 2004. So I actually have a bunch of other albums that I'm going to have to get to before I get to Musicology. And I love Musicology. So yeah, there you go. Just don't look like Rick James. I don't think I could, although I could get that wig that's got the braids going down. Let's see. There's a lot of people asking what I thought about the video for Hollyrock, but I did talk about that already. So I'm going to not answer that again, but go earlier into the video. Let's see. I don't want to be a pirate. Nobody wants to be a pirate. It's always like pirate or ninja, and I always pick ninja. Ninjas are just cooler than pirates. Okay. That means nothing. Love is God, God is love. Exactly. And love your videos. Thank you, Nancy. I always appreciate you. Thank you so much, Nancy. Oh, I don't want to see a rabid 90s Prince fan. They'll start talking about Maite, blah, yuck. Well, then you should probably avoid my reviews that I've been doing about the 90s, because I talk a lot about Maite, because I like Maite, even though I know that there's a bunch of you who don't. So doesn't change what I feel, which is something that I've said before. How you feel about it doesn't change how I feel about it. And I think that's a matter of like when you got into Prince and, you know, your fandom and whatnot, because I got into Prince in 1990. And then, you know, in 1991 or 1992, they introduced Maite, and then Maite was there like forever. Like it felt like forever, but she was there for a very long time. So it's like people are like, oh, Apollonia was the best, and you know, Vanity was the best, but that's because they got in when Vanity and Apollonia and all them, that like when they were around. Like they weren't around anymore when I got into Prince. When I got into Prince, it was Maite. Which is why when people say, who do you like best, Vanity or Apollonia? I say Maite. That's just how I see. You invoked the name Maite. Yana, you invoked the name, which then started making me want to talk about her, because I think Maite is really cool. Anyway, there are boatloads of bootlegs on eBay. Yes. All right. So the thing about selling so if I have a bootleg and I want to sell it to somebody, because I have this bootleg and I want to sell it to you and you are willing to give me money for it, that's different than like mass producing that bootleg and selling it a lot of times. Because eBay is more for like, hey, I have this cup and I don't use it anymore because all my water's gone. Would you like to buy my cup? And then I will give it to you, and then you will have it then, and I will no longer have it. So that money exchange there is not the same as me pulling out an entire ream of cups and making money and money and money and money. So that's where you really get in trouble with bootlegs. But honestly, I always say don't buy bootlegs. Prince really kind of wanted his music to kind of flow freely from, you know, us to all of the other friends and all of that stuff. So if like somebody's just like, hey, I have this amazing bootleg, and if their next line is, and I'll sell it to you for X amount of money, say no, thank you. If their next line is, ooh, and I'll send it to you, it'll be really great, that's going to be somebody you're going to want to hang out with, and you're going to, because they get it, because they'll get it. I've sent music to people, like we'll be in a conversation and I'll be like, oh man, have you heard this song? And they'll be like, I've never heard that song. Like, oh man, I have to send it to you. You're going to love it. And, you know, Chris actually did that. You'll see the video tomorrow. Chris Lacey sent me a track because when we were talking about Lovesexy, we started talking about one of the outtake songs, and I was like, I've never heard the song, so it's hard for me to have a conversation about it. So he sent it to me, and I was like, this is really cool. And it was a song I had never heard that should have been or could have been on Lovesexy. So it's just really cool stuff like that. Now, if he had said, man, I have this song, and, you know, if you send me $5, I'll send you the song, I'd be like, no, thank you. And I'm probably not going to post this video now because you're a jerk. He's not a jerk. It's a hypothetical, but you know what I'm saying. It's just interesting that that's just, I should probably stop. I'm gonna keep going. Let's see. Let's see. Have you done a ton of top 5 video music concepts? I haven't done a video music concept video. I think the reason is that let me see. Keep up the good work. I heard you hit that high note on your podcast. Keep singing. Thank you. I do hit, I post videos of me singing on my Instagram occasionally. I haven't done one this week. Didn't do one last week. I have to get up on that. I've actually been forgetting to do that sort of thing. So anyway, that is a whole other thing. Did I review Child of the Sun? No, actually, Child of the Sun is on my list. That's one I actually do want to review. However, I think I'm in the right year to review it because I believe Crystal Ball, I believe it was after Crystal Ball was when Child of the Sun was done. But it'll come out eventually. I do plan on doing a review of Child of the Sun. There's a bunch of Prince proteges and all of that stuff that I do want to hit. Hey Jess, that's like the 5th time you've asked about Musicology, and I did answer your question about 15 minutes ago. So feel free to check that out or rewind the live feed. So let's see here. I forgot what I was saying now. There you go. Let's see. That's exactly what I want folks to think about differently. I love sharing rare stuff and having stuff that isn't available in all. I don't charge for them. As you shouldn't. I don't think anybody should. Also got into Prince via the Gold Experience plus the Batman album, and also love Maite. She's a powerhouse. I agree. Thank you, Christy and Real 808 for those comments. I like to say who's saying it. I don't like to just respond. I don't think Prince ever stopped loving Maite, just my thoughts. That's from you, Kimberly. So here's the thing about divorce. Having been divorced myself, you don't get a divorce if you wanted to stay with that person. But that doesn't mean that you didn't love that person at one point, because then otherwise, why would you have married them? So that's my thought on that. There you go. He wrote an entire, symphony for her. He did a lot of stuff for Maite. There was a lot that he wanted to do for Maite, and things didn't happen their way. That's just the way that it works. As a once divorced man, I can say that, I loved my first wife, and then eventually I did not love her anymore. So we were no longer married, which is how it should be. You shouldn't stay in a terrible marriage. Anyway, no one needs marriage advice from me, even though my current marriage is very good. Just saying. Uh, that's, anyway, bootleggers get a bad rep, but not all of us are out there to make money on other folks' work, which is exactly what I would say. You know, I'm not even going to call myself a bootlegger. I have bootleg stuff, but it was like given to me from an actual bootlegger. So from people who are bootleggers who collect everything and like catalog it all and stuff, and they're just like, do you want this? And I say, yeah, send it on over. Like, I may one day listen to it, because I just have tons of stuff that I haven't even heard, or I haven't even listened to, because it's like a bunch of like live performances, and some are like tracks of like, projects that Prince could have done that fell through, and like you go and you try and listen to them, and sometimes it's like very not put together, like it's not great sounding, it's not great arrangement on the songs. Like Prince probably put that away because it wasn't ready, which is what that means. So that's just my thought. I don't have anything against bootleggers, unless they're trying to like make a ton of money. That's the only thing that I would have a problem with. But if you're just out there and you're just sharing Prince's music, I don't necessarily have an issue with that, but I also understand why the estate would. So so yeah, there you go. So yeah, bootleggers. Yeah, I may have to have like maybe I'll bring on a bootlegger and have like a conversation with a bootlegger to kind of maybe get that side of the conversation, because I am very much not a bootleg person, uh, depending upon the quality of it. So let's see. Uh, Just curious, have you ever heard Prince's collab with Kate Bush? Why Should I Love You? If so, thoughts? I have heard it, and I actually talk about it in a video that's coming out next week. I liked it. I actually really like that song. It's a good collaboration between the two of them, and obviously she was on My Computer on Emancipation with him, and then he was on that song with her. I thought that it was pretty cool. I thought it was really, really cool. So yeah, there you go. And I'm going to talk more about it, like I said, in another video. Did you see the Hollyrock video? I did. Let me see. Good to catch you on live stream. Quick question. Lovesexy, The Gold Experience, Musicology, Artificial Age, One Gotta Go. No, they don't. I will make one CD that has them all, and I'll just have that CD. Because, you can store multiple albums on an MP3 CD. So that's what I'll do. I will grab all of this. I will grab all of Prince's music. Well, probably not all, but I could probably fit like 10 or 15 of Prince albums on a single MP3 disc. And then I'll just be like, cool, I'll just have this one. No, you know what? I will honestly answer your question. So it's Lovesexy, Gold Experience, Musicology, Artificial Age, One Gotta Go. Thank you, Chris, by the way, for showing up for the live stream just to tell me all of my favorite albums, and then I have to get rid of one. That's kind of a hard one, honestly. I would probably say The Gold Experience, which is weird because The Gold Experience for the longest time was my all-time favorite album. But yeah, I'd probably say The Gold Experience. That's a hard one, though. You guys, you drive a hard bargain here of having to do that. Going to see Liv Warfield and Adrian Crutchfield tomorrow. That is really cool. I got to meet Adrian Crutchfield. He was super, super nice. And Liv Warfield is somebody I would love to talk to as well. I actually just recently listened to her album, The Unexpected, and I really dig her like a lot. I dig her like a ton. So if I could get her on the channel too, I would love to interview her, because she was around the same time that Shelby was around. Prince helped her produce her album in 2014. That would be really, really cool to have to talk with Liv Warfield. I'm sure she's got a lot of nuggets of information to give. And Adrian Crutchfield too. I sent him a thing. I'm like, hey, can I interview you? But never heard anything back. That's what happens sometimes. I might have sent it to the wrong address, or maybe he doesn't check it all that often. He is on the road, recording and stuff, on the road, performing. So, but it would be cool. Like, yeah, I don't really like hunt down a lot of interviews though, because that's not necessarily been what this channel's about. Like, this channel's not about like access. It's not like, oh, I have to be, super nice so that I can make sure that I can get this person on my channel. For me, it's more just, I'm here just to show my love for Prince's music. And at times that has opened the door for me to interview people who have worked with Prince, to also get like their stories of like, what did they think about working with Prince and Prince's music and stuff. And you'll get completely different stories based on who they are, what era they worked with Prince, because, if you go back and look at my Eric Leeds interview and you compare that to, say, my Shelby J interview, completely different scopes for those interviews. So anyway, but honestly, it's really just really cool that I have the opportunity to talk with anybody. Because honestly, I started the channel because I was like, hey, like, I just want to hang out and talk about Prince. And the fact that these people are like, I would love to talk with you. Like, really? So, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I enjoy it. It's fun. Let's see. I saw an interview. So this is Bootney66. I saw an interview with Prince where he said, almost with pride, that he was the most bootlegged artist in music. You know what? It's a thing. It is a thing, because I have I'm a writer. I do game design and writing, and whenever I release a new book, the moment that I release that book, I usually give it a couple of weeks before that book shows up on a pirate site or something like that. And honestly, it is kind of a thing. It's kind of a badge of honor. It's just like, your stuff is so good that, people want to steal it, I guess, is a way to think of it. I don't know. It's just weird. But it is. It's one of those things like, hey, I'm kind of happy that you wanted to steal from me, because it shows that, my work is worth it, I guess. I don't know. It's a weird way to think of it. I'm going to stop talking about that now. Let's see. I kind of like this live stream. I appreciate that, Ayana. Princess Friend, would you buy a turntable if they released special edition vinyls with cuts not available on CD? Yes. I definitely would. Just yes. And then I would figure out how to translate that to CD. So I would buy the CD, I would buy the vinyl, and I would buy the record player that allows me to record whatever I'm playing on the record player, if that's a thing. I don't even know if that's a thing, but I would digitize that real quick, because I don't have time to be messing around with vinyl. I stream all of my music. I have no reason to mess around with vinyl at this point in my life. I'm not going to start collecting vinyl at this point. More bootlegged than the Grateful Dead or Fish, and they encouraged concert recordings. Black Album is the most bootlegged ever. Wow, I didn't know that it was the most bootlegged ever. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Prince would want you to buy those vinyls, Prince's Friend. Well, see, yeah, I said I would. You're a super nice guy, though. Thank you. I appreciate it. Have I read I Would Die for You? I have not. I actually have that book, but I have not read it yet. I have like 3 Prince books that I have, but I have not had the time to read them. Should have read them while I was sick. But I have that one. I have Sheila E.'s biography, Beat of My Own Drum. And then I have one other one. It's that one over there on my bookshelf that I can't remember the name of, and I can't see it from this far. But I have those. But yeah, I would love to read. I have those 3 books that I do want to come out with. I want to do some book reviews. Maybe I'll try and knock those out in August, because I know August is mostly going to be Crystal Ball. Fingers crossed if I can get the reviews written in time. And I'm still trying to figure out, like, what do I want to do special about Crystal Ball? Because it could just be me sitting there talking and telling you my thoughts, or I could try and involve some of these new characters or an old character, or I could have it with the Funko Pop, or, I could be animated again. So many things. I did so many things seriously, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch the Emancipation reviews, because I don't know, I think I almost did too much on those. I had a lot of fun with that. Let's see. I think Prince said that with a bit of tongue in cheek. Yes, well, and it's all with a little bit of. I mean, because even me, like, I'm not serious about it. Like, I would prefer that people not steal stuff, but it's kind of cool that people steal stuff sometimes, I guess. I would love to review a review of Beautiful Strange interview by Mel B. That's an interesting idea. I never thought of it. Reviewing an interview seems redundant a little bit. I don't know. I think that's an interesting. I might have to think about that one. I'm not sure, because I've watched that review a few times, or that interview a few times, because I actually like the Spice Girls, and I actually like Mel B. So watching the two of them interact is actually very cool. Sandra Bernhardt saying sometimes it snows in April on a show called Pose. I started crying. That's interesting. She is not a good singer. But I think I want to hear it anyway. If you tell me what episode she sang that in, I'll go check it out, because Pose is on Netflix. Do you think the estate will release the Tamarack album? I don't know Tamarack. I've not heard of that one. Yeah, you'll have to give me. Oh, Tamar. Okay, you did. You probably not. I think if they were going to release it, they would have released it already. It's really good. The album is like, it's hot. It's really good. I've told the story a bunch of times about when I was listening to the Tamar album. I actually haven't listened to it for a while, but when I was listening to it like a lot on like repeat, I've told stories anyway. Anyway. This is Oscar in South Africa. Looking forward to your Hollyrock video discussion. I loved it, made me miss him, and it strangely reminded me how he is also not here physically anymore. Just a thought. Well, yeah. I mean, you can do a lot of stuff with animation, though. Like, I'm excited that they're coming out with a Hawkeye animated series on Disney Plus. I think we have like 2 years for that. But anyway, like, I'm excited that they're going to be having Hawkeye be an animated series, because you can do things with an animation that you can't do in real life. Anyway, let's see. I want to read a book about Prince, but I don't know where to start. What would be your go-to for a bio? That's a hard one. There are actually a whole lot of books of people who are telling stories about Prince, but honestly, the best bio that you can do would be to listen to his music. And when I say listen to his music, I mean listen to it in order. Start with For You, go through all the way, because he's telling you about his life and his experiences and his spirituality and his emotions and his feelings and everything. He's saying it all in his music, and you're going to do better doing that than you will ever reading a bio. So that's just my own personal thought. I'm sure people in the chat might give you book titles. But for me, that's my thought on it, because you really should focus on the music first, the man second. Like, Prince is an amazing man, but he put his music out there, and he wanted the music to speak for itself and for him. And I think that he did that very well. Anyway, is the estate going to release any other music from the vault? Yes. Moving on. Mr. Ant, hey dude, just saying hi and happy birthday for yesterday. Just gone midnight here in London, so calling it a night soon. Hey man, thank you for showing up. I mean, it's actually been a while since you and I talked. So, and I was actually just talking about you earlier in the live feed. So isn't that interesting? But no, always good to see you. Thank you so much, Mr. Ant. Any word on the Prince doc? No. I'm hoping that when they do have more information about the Prince doc, that they will call me up personally and say, hey, we want you to help promote it, or we just want to talk to you about it, or who knows. Maybe I can be part of like the what do they have, like a test group where they'll be like, watch this and tell us what you think and tell us if it needs to be changed or whatever. Like that would be cool. I would love to be part of like a test group. I think that would be great. Just saying. Can we get a campaign going to get Barbara Broccoli to have Prince do the theme tune for the next James Bond movie? It's an interesting idea, but also at the same time, Prince couldn't do the theme for the next Bond movie because Prince isn't around right now. It's weird. Like if they want to take some Prince music and put it as the Bond theme, that's different. But like it would have to be something that was already done at this point. But honestly, it's weird because it doesn't. I mean, unless the film had a certain feel to it, I don't know if Prince music is great for James Bond type things. They had Bjork do one. Oh God, I'm blanking on her name, but the woman with the really amazing voice, she did one. Chris Cornell did one. So you know what? Chris Cornell kind of broke the mold. So they could go in a different direction. So I take it back. They could definitely do one with Prince. So let's see. Talking about me. Yes, I am. Yes, see, that's why you popped up. It's because you felt me talking about you. I never asked a question about Maite. Wrong, Kimberly, LOL, but I hear you, LOL. I don't think it was you. It was somebody else. There's a bunch of different Kimberlys. I have like 4 Kimberlys that are in my comment section a lot. That's just a thing. Oh, cool. The post episode is Love's in Need of Love today. I will check that out. How many interviews did Prince have? I mean, it's countless, lots. They should make more movies with Prince songs in it. Yes and no. It's weird, right? Because whenever I'm watching like a TV show or something and they'll be like, let's put the radio on. And then like Adele, thank you, that was the name. And then they'll be like, oh, let's put the radio on. And then they'll hit play and it'll be Prince. Like it's always 80s Prince. It's always like a very predictable song. And I'm always like, that did nothing for me. It's just weird. It's weird because I want Prince to be out there more, but I also don't want there to be I don't want it to be confused that Prince was only 80s stuff. And that's really what's kind of happening right now because they are licensing a lot of his 80s stuff because that's what people want. But really, I would love it if like, if there was a movie and they were playing Black Sweat in a club, like bam, sign me up. I'll watch that movie. I would love to see that, but that's never going to happen. Like, I mean, I guess I won't say never, but it's not going to happen for a bit. I don't know. Let's see. What's your favorite Prince song so far? That's a loaded question. I've been saying that my favorite Prince song is and it's the one that like, if I listen to it, I want to listen to it again. But also Funk and Roll is an interesting one because Funk and Roll is like, every time I listen to one version of Funk and Roll, I have to listen to the other version. So it's interesting. Let's see. Would it offend you if they ever did a Prince hologram? Yeah. No, it wouldn't offend me, but it would be against what Prince would have wanted and I would be angry. But I guess offended is a weird word. Like it wouldn't offend me. I wouldn't be like, oh, how dare you? It would be like, y'all, like, come on now. Don't do that. But also there's a lot of people who would be there's a whole lot of people who would be very much against that. Kind of like with the Super Bowl thing when there was rumors that there was going to be a hologram and they rolled that back real fast. They were like, oh, no. What we're going to do is just show footage of a thing. And then they did it and it was like kind of lame. And that's because that was like a last minute replacement of what they were going to do, which was probably a hologram. So I'm glad that they decided not to do that. So Did you ever see that Purple Rain would come on TV? Yeah, it would come on VH1 like all the time. So there you go. All right. When are you coming back to Minneapolis? It's a very good question. Every time I've come to Minneapolis, it's either been for celebration or it's been for like an event, right? But I don't know. I don't know of any other events that are popping up here that are worth. Because I mean, if I have to fly out there, that's me paying for a flight, that's me paying for hotel, that's me paying for food and travel and like all these different things. So it is like for me to go to Minneapolis and stay for any length of time, like we're talking at least $600-700 if I'm going to like have a good time, I guess. So like it's not a small investment for me to go to Minneapolis, which is sad because I would love to go to Minneapolis far more often. So yeah, so that's a hard one, honestly. I would love to go more often though. So there's that. So I think I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start wrapping up here. I'm gonna probably hit a few more questions, but I do want to stress again that I do talk a lot on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Not so much on the Instagram. I mostly post pictures and me singing and videos and stuff. But Twitter, I'm always on Twitter, and I'm probably going to be posting that that poll up on Twitter. But Facebook, definitely go hit all of my social medias. Just Princess Friend, you'll find it. It's my PF logo there. But really, like, I do a lot of stuff on there, and that's where I'm going to talk about the t-shirts. That's where I post things of me singing, the stuff, basically stuff that's it doesn't work going on this. But also I share news and links and all kinds of stuff. So definitely follow me on all the social medias so that you can kind of follow along with everything that we do here, and not just, the videos themselves. So yeah, there you go. So there's that. Definitely hit up the Patreon. That's patreon.com/princessfriend. I do mention it like pretty much every video. Sometimes I forget, but I do mention it pretty much every video. But definitely go and check out the Patreon. I do post like outtakes and like bloopers of some of the videos that I do. Like there's some stuff from the last Chris Lacey discussion that I had. All of the interviews usually end up having some outtakes. I've also been going into my Prince stash of videos, and I've been posting some of those up on the Patreon as well. So if you are interested in that sort of thing, definitely go to the Patreon. It does help support the channel, and you can like do it for like $2. Like it's not a big deal. Like $2 is, what is that? Like a candy bar. Like seriously, and that's the thing. Candy bars have gotten so expensive. So it's weird for me to be able to say, yeah, $2, it's like the price of a candy bar. Like I remember when I was a kid that like a candy bar was 50 cents. And I'm like, how so much has changed? So much has changed. I'm 40 now. I get to complain about like when I was a kid, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, anyway, I'll stop with that. But go to the Patreon. It's patreon.com/princessfriend. And you can definitely hit me up there. There's lots of like cool extras that you get being a patron. So, and I love sharing that stuff with the patrons. So there you go. So I'm gonna hit one or two more questions, and then we will, and then we're gonna dip out. So let's see what we see here. Let's see. You haven't mentioned Sandra Bernhardt. Well, we actually mentioned. I haven't watched it, but yeah, we did actually mention that earlier. This is the longest I've watched your channel. The live streams have a way of kind of sucking people in. That's why I like doing them. I've been doing them, once a month, and I've been thinking about possibly doing them like officially more than once a month, maybe twice a month. Thank you, Artful. I like that. I appreciate that you like that video. But I've been thinking about doing them more often. Like maybe twice a month, maybe every other Thursday, I can start doing something like that. The main thing is really just like, is that what you guys want? I did a poll, I think it was around the beginning of the year, where I asked that question, And most people said like once a month is fine. And I'm like, okay. And then I go live like in certain instances, like when I wanted to do the how I make, lists thing. So maybe I'll put up a poll as well for that again, and we'll see what maybe you guys think nowadays, where, maybe once a month isn't enough. Maybe we can do two times a month, because I've seen channels who do one every week. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do one every week, but I could definitely do more often than I have been doing. It's possible. Like I could definitely do it. Anyway, God, candy bars are so expensive. It's just a thing. Anyway, thank you all for coming and checking out Princess Friend. Follow me on social media and Patreon. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, but also as a big thing, go subscribe to the Prince channel if you haven't already. It's like underappreciated at this point. I think the last time I checked it, it had like 800,000 subs. So, but it deserves more than that. It deserves multiple millions. So go subscribe to the Prince channel as well, because it definitely deserves it. And comment and like and share all those videos, just like you do with mine. Do that with all those other videos that the Prince channel puts out, because it's only going to help and encourage them and keep them putting up more stuff. Because that's what we want in the end, is if they are going to be on YouTube, we want them to be consistent and putting up stuff and uploading things. So the only way to do that is if we support that channel. So do that. And, of course, and like, share, subscribe, and all that stuff for me, too. And otherwise, I'll talk to you guys later. May you live to see the dawn. Love you all.